Hi everyone and welcome to the week 2 webinar. We have the lovely Leroy here from NIB who's about to give us a presentation on what you can access from NIB Health Insurance at the end, and he's going to press play for a recording that we're doing for nutrition. So I'll hand over to you, Leroy. Thank you.
Thank you, Jess. So this is our second in our series of webinars. Last week we spoke about the power of sleep. Today we're going to be talking about the power of nutrition and how it can boost your immune system.
Hi everyone, and welcome to today's session on diet and immunity. My name is Amy Knight and I am one of the dietitians at Nutrition Australia. We are certainly living in some unprecedented times at the moment, and it is quite unsettling to be experiencing such drastic change in how we live our everyday lives. The disruption to our regular routines has had a huge impact on our eating habits. Diet and immunity has always been a hot topic as we come into winter each year, as we all want to know what we can do to stay healthy during the cold season. Immunity is receiving even more attention this year with COVID-19. There is a lot of misinformation available online about the links between diet and immunity, and this can be really misleading. Today we are going to cut through all of the misinformation to sort the fact from fiction and make sure that you leave today's session with some practical tips that you can implement today. Before we jump in, let's run through what you'll be taking away from today's session. Firstly, we are going to talk about the exact function of the immune system and the role this plays within the body. We're also going to chat about the key nutrients that actually do support the immune system and the foods that these are found in. We are also going to sift through the common myths surrounding diet and immunity so that you know what is true and what is false. And then towards the end of today's session, we're going to summarise all of this info into some key practical takeaways and highlight some of the reputable sources of nutrition information and healthy recipes that you can check out after today's session to give you plenty of inspiration. So how does our immune system function in the body, and what are the consequences of poor immune health? The human immune system is a highly evolved and sophisticated system whose first and foremost role is to fight off the invasion of infection in the body. The immune system consists of specialized organs, cells, and chemicals which provide both physical and cellular barriers to invading microorganisms. We are also learning more and more about the links between our gut health and our immunity. And there is lots of research currently underway in this space, which is really interesting. Amazingly, 70% of the body's immune system is in the gut. So we know that our gut health and the balance of good bacteria in our gut is really important. If a person has poor immune health, we know that they are more susceptible to infection and illness. Although diet is absolutely essential to our immunity, and we're going to really delve into this today, it is important to take a holistic view of our immune health as it is influenced by so many factors. These include our age, genetics, sleep, exercise, alcohol consumption, our body weight, and even environmental factors such as our geographical location and whether we live in rural or urban areas. So what are the key nutrients that are important for our immune health? And what can we eat to ensure we get enough of these? The truth is there are a number of different nutrients, vitamins and minerals that support our immune health. One of the best things you can do to support your own immune health is to eat a really varied diet that is mainly whole, unprocessed foods and includes all of the key food groups. We're going to talk more about this next. In terms of the individual key nutrients, there are many vitamins at play. These include vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D and E, and a number of the B vitamins as well. Key minerals for our immune health include zinc, selenium, and folate. The macronutrients, which are protein, carbohydrate, and healthy fats, are the nutrients that provide us with energy, and these are also really essential to our immunity. we know that people who are either under or overweight can experience poorer immune health. Dietary fibre is also essential, and in particular the prebiotic fibres that are found in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and nuts and seeds, as it is this particular type of fibre that feeds the good bacteria in our gut. So where can we find these key nutrients in the diet? I've listed here the core food groups and the key nutrients that they provide. Starting with vegetables, vegetables provide a huge range of nutrients, including vitamin C, dietary fibre, folate, antioxidants, and phytochemicals, all playing a role in good health. Fruit, again, is a great source of vitamin C and also dietary fibre. And fruit gets a really bad rap that it is high in sugar. However, whole, unprocessed fruit is packed with nutrients. While it is true that fruit does contain some natural sugars in the form of fructose, the dietary fibre in the fruit slows down the digestion and absorption into the bloodstream of these sugars, and so it is a much more sustained release as opposed to the quickly absorbed sugars that we often find in more processed foods. Whole grain sources of different grain foods, such as wholemeal and mixed grain bread, wraps, rolled oats, brown rice, wholemeal pasta, popcorn and rice cakes, provide slow-releasing carbohydrates for energy, as well as dietary fibre, folate, B vitamins, and iron. Next is the protein foods, which consist of both animal sources of protein, such as meat, fish, and eggs, but also plant-based sources of protein, such as lentils, legumes, tofu, nuts, and seeds. Try to include both animal-based and plant-based protein sources in your diet. But of course, if you follow a vegetarian or a vegan diet, aim to include a wide variety of the plant-based protein options. Finally, dairy foods such as cheese, yogurt, or milk provide calcium, protein, vitamin B12, and also probiotics which support our gut health. If you prefer to choose plant-based dairy alternatives such as soy or almond milk, choose ones that are fortified with vitamins and minerals, especially calcium. And have a look on the back at the nutrition information panel and you should be able to see if these products are fortified. Unfortunately, there are a lot of myths and misconceptions out there about the role of diet in increasing our immunity, and it can be really challenging to sort through the fact from the fiction. Let's chat through some of the common ones that we hear all the time. The first one is around vitamin C supplements and whether or not these actually help fight off the common cold. Many people swear by this one. However, the truth is that studies have shown that taking vitamin C tablets every day does not decrease your chance of getting a cold, but it may reduce the length of the cold and the severity of your symptoms. However, this effect is not seen if you start taking the vitamin C supplements after you start feeling symptoms. As we've discussed, vitamin C is readily found in a number of fruits and vegetables, and it is actually quite achievable to get your recommended daily intake from your diet alone. The other interesting fact is that our bodies cannot store excess vitamin C, and so if we consume more than we actually need, our bodies will simply excrete the excess vitamin C in our urine. So what this means is that sometimes you can be taking really expensive vitamin C tablets only for your body to be getting rid of the excess. Another common supplement is garlic and echinacea. However, again, there is a lack of convincing evidence that these supplements are effective in preventing and treating the common cold in adults. As we learn more and more about the links between our gut health and our immunity, probiotic supplements are also another one that gets quite a lot of attention. There is some early evidence to suggest that probiotics may be associated with decreased incidence and length of the common cold. However, much more scientific research is needed in this area before this becomes a recommendation. It is really, really important not to self-diagnose the need for any form of supplements, whether that be vitamins, herbal remedies, or probiotics. Make sure you discuss taking these with your GP and a dietitian before you start taking them. Sugar is also another really interesting one, and there's actually a lack of evidence to suggest that sugar directly affects the immune system. However, it's really important to consider here what foods might be being displaced by an intake of foods that are high in sugar. Often when we're eating a diet full of processed foods high in refined sugars, we are then not eating enough of those nutrient-dense foods like we've discussed, like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, etc. So what should you eat? As you can see, there are many nutrients, vitamins, and minerals that support the immune system, each playing a really important role. No particular nutrient works in isolation, and we need a balance of all. And it's important to remember that we don't eat nutrients, we eat food. So what are the actual foods that we should be eating? The best thing you can do to support your immune health is to eat a diet that is based on whole, unprocessed foods with lots of variety. Variety in our diet is key as it helps to ensure that we are getting the full range of vitamins, minerals, macronutrients, antioxidants, and phytochemicals that our bodies need. Including food from all the core food groups is also really important. So this includes fruits, vegetables, dairy or plant-based dairy alternatives if you prefer, protein-rich foods including animal-based sources of protein and plant-based sources, and grains and healthy fats and oils. When planning your meals, aim to include a source of protein, healthy fats, whole grains, and fruits and vegetables with each meal. You can see here some examples of each element. So starting with the protein, including eggs, tofu, legumes, lentils, nuts and seeds, meats, seafood, and dairy. As we know, protein plays a really important role as well in the body in terms of growth and repair and ensuring that we feel full in between meals. Healthy fats are also really important, and these are found in foods like extra virgin olive oil, nuts and seeds, avocado, and seafood. Sources of healthy fats are really important in the diet for providing essential fatty acids and for aiding the absorption of particular vitamins such as A, D, E, and K. Healthy fats as well help us feel satisfied between meals. Whole grains is the term used to describe the intact grain that contains all three parts of the original grain. Often during food processing, grains are refined, which means they lose some of the nutrients in those outer layers. Whole grains are packed with nutrients and phytochemicals, and we know that people who eat whole grain food on a regular basis are at a lower risk of developing heart disease or diabetes and of gaining weight over time. Examples of whole grain foods include grain bread, rolled oats, brown rice, wholemeal pasta, rice cakes, and wheat bix. Finally, also aim to include fruits and veggies with all of your meals. These can be fresh, frozen, or even tinned options with no added salt. It is a common misconception that fresh is best when it comes to fruit and vegetables. However, we know that frozen options are just as nutritious, and some evidence shows that they may even contain higher levels of vitamins and minerals, as they are often snap frozen soon after harvest, as opposed to fresh produce that may sit on the supermarket shelves for some time. Here are some examples of how all of these elements might come together. For breakfast, you could make some porridge by simmering some rolled oats with water on a low heat, and then add in some grated apple and a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then top with yogurt and some sliced almonds and pepitas. Lunch could be boiled eggs mashed up and mixed with curry powder and served on a warm multigrain wrap with fresh salad greens and sliced avocado. And dinner could be a curry, either with chicken or chickpeas or a combination of both, and made with extra virgin olive oil and really whatever vegetables you have available in the fridge, and serve that with a side of brown rice. Meals that hit this balance of these four key elements provide you with a variety of nutrients and help to keep us satisfied between meals. So what are the key points to take away from today? There is no magic bullet for supercharging your immunity. The truth is, it is the healthy habits we make and sustain over a long period of time that support our immunity the best. The key is to aim for a balanced diet with lots of variety, and that includes all of the core food groups. Fruit, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, lentils and legumes, fish, seafood, eggs, dairy foods or calcium fortified plant-based dairy alternatives, and healthy fats like extra virgin olive oil and avocado. And finally, remember to take a holistic view of your health when it comes to immunity, as we know that diet does play a huge role, but it's also influenced by other factors like we've discussed. As we have discussed, there is a lot of nutrition misinformation online, and so it is important to know where to go for reputable sources of info. Check out the Nutrition Australia and the Dietitians Australia website for lots of great fact sheets, articles about different nutrition topics and recipes. And the Australian Healthy Food Guide website also has lots of delicious recipe ideas for a bit of inspiration, as well as some great nutrition information as well. If you would like tailored nutrition advice specifically for you and your lifestyle, see an accredited practicing dietitian. You can find an APD nearby to you by visiting the Dietitians Australia website, and there are also many dietitians offering online or over the phone one-to-one appointments at the moment in response to COVID-19. I hope you have enjoyed today's session and took something new away from it. There will be a survey link sent around, so it would be great if you could complete that if you wish, just to really cement those key takeaways from today. Thank you very much for having me, and I hope that you all look after yourselves and stay healthy this winter.
That was great. Now, for those of you who aren't already aware, we have a great health plan in place for Silver Chain team members. This gives you a discount of up to 8% off NIB's retail products. One thing that people may not be aware is that when you switch from one health fund to another, you don't start from scratch with your waiting period. So what happens is your health fund that you're moving to will speak to your old health fund and get your history transferred over. So it would be as if you were with that new health fund the whole time on the equivalent level of cover. So you've got nothing to lose by having a quote and seeing if the corporate plan works for you. And we do have a special offer at the moment where people joining NIB on the Silver Chain corporate plan will get a $200 e-gift card. So have a chat to the team. I've got the 1-800 number and a website there. That is the corporate line. So if you ring up, they'll ask you who you work for, and you just mention Silver Chain or IDNS, and then they'll be able to take it from there. Thank you so much for your attention today.
Thanks, Leroy. That was a great presentation, and I hope you all enjoyed it as well. You know, nutrition is something that we often overlook, as she put. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to turn the recording off now. And